Depth of the Quiet, Chapter 6. When your history becomes a villain story. There is a moment in many estranged parents' journeys when they hear their child describe them, not just inaccurately, but as the villain of their childhood. Not flawed, not imperfect, not human, but harmful. Damaging, dangerous, emotionally treacherous. The root of everything broken in their adult life. It feels like the air leaves your lungs. You listen to your child speak about events that did not happen, motives you did not have, behaviors you never engaged in, and you feel the devastating realization settle in. Your child has assigned you a role you never auditioned for. This chapter helps you understand how that happens and why your child clings to this role so tightly. The simplest story wins. When people struggle emotionally, their minds reach for the simplest explanation. The child, now an adult, begins gathering all their pain. Disappointments, failures, insecurities, anxieties, shame, and placing them into a single narrative. The simplest story is, my parent caused this. It is tidy, it is clear, it is emotionally efficient, it provides a sense of order. When life feels chaotic, this does not make it fair, it does not make it accurate, but it does make it appealing. A villain simplifies confusion, and in adulthood, the child is often drowning in confusion. The hero-victim-villain framework. The human brain loves a three-part story: hero, victim, villain. It is the oldest narrative structure we know. It is how the brain organizes chaos. When a child feels lost in their adult life, they often cast themselves as the victim, the one who is harmed, overlooked, misunderstood, or damaged. Their new partner or chosen family, the hero who opened their eyes, rescued them, or saw their truth. And the parent, the villain who held them back, hurt them, or wasn't enough. This narrative solidifies quickly because it gives the child identity, belonging, validation, emotional protection, an explanation for pain, a reason to distance, a reason to stay aligned with their partner, step-parent, or community. The villain story is not about you, it is about the emotional needs the child is trying to satisfy when someone else needs you to be the villain. Sometimes the story does not begin with the child. It begins with someone who benefits from casting you as the villain. A partner who wants loyalty, undivided attention, or emotional control. They feel safer when the child distances from you. They recast your normal parenting as harmful because it strengthens their position. An ex-partner who never healed their own wounds. Your child becomes their proxy. Their bitterness becomes the child's narrative. Your past conflict becomes retold as your child's trauma. A step-parent who feels threatened by your existence. Your closeness threatens their role. They recast you negatively to elevate themselves. A therapist or support group that relies on trauma narratives. They interpret everything through a lens of dysfunction. Online communities that turn every disagreement into abuse, and every parent into a villain on the internet. The child is often not the architect of the villain story, only the messenger. But the more they repeat it, the more they begin to believe it. Projection, when your child's pain finds a target. Projection is the psychological act of placing one's internal feelings onto someone else. An adult child struggling with fear, anxiety, shame, failed relationships, emotional immaturity, dependency on a partner, insecurity, unresolved trauma. Often does not know how to process these feelings, so they project them onto the parent. They say, "You are controlling," when they are being controlled by others. "You are emotionally unavailable," when they are emotionally overwhelmed now. "You ruined my confidence," when they feel insecure in their adult life. "You made me feel unsafe," when their current relationships are unstable. Your child may sincerely believe these things because projection feels real to the person doing it. Their pain is real, but the source they assign it to is not. The selective memory problem. When a child constructs a villain narrative, they begin to remember selectively. Memories are filtered through the new story. Neutral moments become negative. Positive moments become ignored. Small mistakes become exaggerated. Sacrifices become invisible. Real harm done by others becomes reassigned to you. Memory becomes a tool, not a truth. And because the child's emotional world now requires you to be the villain, the brain begins to rearrange the past to match the present story. This is not intentional deceit. This is how memory works under emotional strain. The cost of becoming the villain. For the child, casting you as the villain gives them relief. For you, it gives you heartbreak. You feel powerless, as your history is rewritten in real time. You feel erased by the person you raised. You feel misrepresented by someone who once knew your heart better than anyone. You want to defend yourself, but defending yourself reinforces the story. You want to tell the truth, but telling the truth is framed as denial. You want to save the relationship, but any attempt to save it is interpreted as manipulation. You are trapped in the role they assigned you, with no script of your own. This is the agony of being recast as the villain. Not the narrative itself, but the helplessness of watching your truth disappear. In the mind of your own child, why your child clings to the villain narrative so tightly. It serves a purpose. It helps them feel justified, feel understood, feel bonded to a partner, feel aligned with an ex, feel validated by online groups, feel like their struggles have a clear origin. Avoid taking responsibility. Avoid confronting their own pain. Support someone else's emotional needs. Build a new identity separate from you. Letting go of the villain's story would require them to face truths that are far more painful. That their partner may be controlling. That their ex-step parent was manipulative. That their therapist was biased. That their suffering is not your fault. That they are projecting. That the distance is not justified. That they may have wronged you. Accepting your innocence would mean accepting their own complexity. That level of self-awareness is terrifying for many adult children, so they hold tightly to the story that protects them, even as it destroys you. Why this chapter matters. This chapter gives you one of the most vital truths in estrangement. Your child's villain narrative is not about your parenting. It is about their interpretation. And their interpretation was shaped by forces beyond your control. You are not a villain. You are a parent, a human parent. Imperfect, loving, trying, learning, evolving. The villain story is not your story. It is the child's attempt to narrate their own internal world. Understanding this will help you navigate the next chapters, where we explore where these narratives come from, how they solidify, why they spread through families, and how to survive the stories that replace you. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to Depth of the Quiet. You can listen quietly at 2 a.m. when your thoughts are overwhelming you, and you may come back anytime you need support. If you want to feel heard, you are welcome to leave a comment or tell me your story in the comments below. This could help other parents that are feeling like they are traveling this road all alone like so many of us do, until we found channels like this one. We all need support on those hard days when the loss hits harder. Start a discussion or ask a question if you feel safe doing so. No pressure to interact. Just heal at your pace, and you are welcome to watch whenever you need to. You are always welcome here. Also, if you like this content, you may purchase the full book Depth of the Quiet by Latina Sidorov, available in paperback and Kindle version from Amazon.com. And for all the spouses supporting the estranged parent, there is a great book written by the husband of Latina Sidorov on the spouse's perspective called Standing Beside the Broken, also available from Amazon. The author is Stas Sidorov. Thank you for watching this video.